So I've tried GTA Enhanced Edition with the 4090 and the 3060 Ti with the Natural Vision enhanced mod as well, and the frame generation mod as well. Let me just enable these options before I enable frame generation, because I'm going to need them for frame generation when I use it later. And as you can see, the 5090, you know, handles this game gracefully, as it should, because it's actually the most important, the most powerful, not important, the most powerful GPU on the planet right now. Let me just spawn a car instead of just let me just decrease the time to 9 o'clock in the morning, and then do a clear or extra sunny, and then spawn a car. No, not this one, this one. Okay, as you can see right now, it's using 8.1 gigabytes of VRAM, which is, you know, enough for this GPU. It's not really, the GPU does not really have a VRAM problem. It will never have a VRAM problem until like 2030 or like 2035, when games actually start using 32 gigabytes of VRAM. And right now, 100 FPS, dropping to the 90s. I think the lowest that I've seen, because I played this game with the 5090, I was gonna say the lowest I've seen is like 88, and it hit 89. Now it's like 86, so 85, 82, now dropping to like low 80s. So yeah, it was like, you're a liar, I can drop even more. And yeah, like 88, 82, like in the 80s, and the highest was like 108 or 110, something like that, which is pretty good. In this game, you don't really need more than that. You need like a 60 FPS, and you can enjoy. This is a story game. It's not really a fast-paced game. This is like a story game. If you have any like kind of GPU that can deliver 60 FPS in like a resolution that you have, like for example, if you have a screen that is 1080p, and you have a GPU that can deliver 60 FPS in 1080p in this game, then you're fine. You know, you don't really need anything else. And this mod really actually increases the graphics of this game to like, it brings it closer to GTA 6, if I might say so. So yeah, right now, okay, let me just go through the I didn't go through the graphics. I forgot. This is like basically balls to the wall. Everything is increased. Like everything is on ultra. Everything is, except for motion blur and depth of field, because this mod tells you to actually put depth of field on normal mode instead of high, for some reason. So yeah, everything is balls to the walls. And now I want to use DLSS. That's why I went to the settings menu and use DLSS instead of DLAA. And as you can see right now, I get an increase of FPS, which is pretty good. 140 FPS. It will drop to like 120, 119 or 15, like that, like in the most intensive areas, but generally it's gonna stay between that, in the range like between 115 or let's say 110 and 140, because this game has a lot of places that are that are intensive, and a lot of places that are not really that intensive. So but most of the time you're gonna be like in the 130, 140 FPS. So yeah, and it's using 7.6 gigabytes of VRAM right now, and it dropped the watts from like 500 and something to now like 460, 470 range, which is pretty good. The cable is not gonna melt with that, unless the cable starts, you know, fucking up the distribution of power between the pins. It's not gonna melt itself. So yeah, all right, let's stop here and use DLSS performance. Put DLSS performance on the overlay from OBS recording, and use DLSS performance in game. And as you can see, I am not gonna get any improvement in FPS. Why? Because as you can see, the GPU is dropping utilization to the 80s, like 89, 88. Sometimes it goes back to 96, 92, something like that, but it drops the utilization, which means that this GPU is being bottlenecked. I don't want to spoil the next video that I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be doing side by side 4090 against 5090 in this game, and spoiler alert, the 4090 beats this game at night. Only at night though. For some reason, when nighttime comes, this GPU shits its pants for some reason. And I thought that the GPU was like, you know, going bad or something, so I tried another a friend's Astral 5090, which is the same, which is should be more powerful than this one, but it's not really, you know, like 2% or 3% more powerful than mine. I have a TUF OC, but the same shit. The 4090 beats both of those GPUs. I checked for the ROPs. The ROPs are still there. Nothing is missing. Actually, let me just pull up the GPU Z. GPU Z right here. Okay, let's wait for it to show up. I have the full ROPs, as you can see right here. Let me just zoom in. Where's the mouse right here of the other display? As you can see, 176 ROPs, which is the full fat GPU. Okay, and still, where's GTA? Okay, right here. Still losing to the 4090 in this game, and only this game actually, and only in nighttime. So in daytime, no problem. Nighttime is where the problem is, and I have no clue why. I've tried DDUing the GPU drivers. I've tried another GPU. Nothing. Both of my well, not mine, the 59, one is mine and one is my friend's, and I don't own two 5090s. I'm not that rich. I'm not even rich to be that rich. So yeah, the GPU loses to the why the fuck is he brick checking me? Are you retarded? Okay, as I was saying, right now, let's use DLSS frame generation. I mean, DLSS quality with the frame generation mod, which is gonna be. Let me just go in. DLSS quality, and oh yeah, right here, DLSS frame generation. And as you can see, I'm gonna go up, and oh yeah, let me just remove the wanted thing. I don't want the cops to interfere with my. Actually, let me just make the car invincible as well. Okay, I don't want the cops to interfere with my benchmarking. Right now, as you can see, the 5090 pierced the 230 FPS with frame generation, which is not able, you know, the 4090 would not be doing this kind of FPS at all. Like, even with frame generation, it wouldn't go to 200 FPS, but this GPU can. You know, the 4090, I think it capped at like 170 or like 190 FPS with frame generation. This one goes to 140 FPS in the less intensive areas, in like 120 FPS from like 100. Oh, now it's like 190 FPS. It dropped from 200. Okay, this is another most intensive area of the game. I'm gonna keep that noted for the next time I try this GPU, so I can go there as well at daytime. All right. As you can see, the VRAM increased. Why? Because the frame generation needs somewhere to store those fake frames, and the VRAM is where it's stored. So, yeah, it's gonna increase the VRAM a little bit. But this, as I said, this GPU does not really have a VRAM problem. 32 GB of VRAM is like too much, you know, is enough for this GPU to run frame generation and everything that entails using frame generation. Okay. Right now, I'm going to disable frame generation and DLSS. I'm going to go back to DLAA. And disable frame generation. And one thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to switch to nighttime. I'm going to go to all the way midnight and use rain. And now, you're gonna see the 5090 crumble as it tries to comprehend what's happening. And let me just tell you something. The 4090 never broke down to like 30 FPS. This GPU does. The GPU runs worse than the like in this exact same scene. I got 45 FPS on the 4090 in this exact same spot. With the rain and the puddles and the same car, same color, same lighting, same time of the day, of the night, I said midnight, and this GPU cannot even hit 40 FPS. It's 33 FPS. Sometimes it's gonna drop to like 20s, 29, 28, which is horrendous. This GPU, and as you can see, the watts, it's using 370 watts instead of using 570 watts. That means that there's something in this game, a bug, that is preventing the 5090 to actually use its ray tracing cores or something. You know, it's probably using the shader cores to do all the work for the ray tracing, instead of using the ray tracing cores to do that. And that's why it's dropping performance. This is my theory. I'm not really sure, but this is my theory, because the 4090 in the same mod, same game, same kind of night, and same spot gave me more FPS than the 5090. And overall, in general, it gives me more FPS than the 5090, which is a 2.5 years old GPU right now, which is still like the second fastest GPU on the planet, but it's not the fastest GPU on the planet. This one is. And all other games I tried, like I thought that my GPU was going bad or something, and I tried Alan Wake. It beats the 4090 by a mile. And I tried Cyberpunk, tried Doom again. There's no problem with the GPU, but there's a problem with the game. So let's use the DLSS quality and stop rambling about the loss of performance for some reason. And as you can see, the DLSS helps, you know, it gets you like to 60 FPS, 70 FPS. I'm gonna go back to that area actually to see how much FPS I'm gonna get with DLSS, because that spot that I was in, that I parked in, is the most intensive spot of the whole game, because of the lighting, of the puddles, of the reflections, shadows, everything, every aspect of ray tracing is there. And right now, I think it's gonna drop to 50 FPS or something. I hope not. I hope it says above 60. Alright, so 75, I mean 57, 59, which is not bad. You know, 55 FPS is still good. And yeah, the VRAM increased again because, you know, it's back to DLSS quality. It actually decreased from DLAA. It was like 9 gigabytes while I was using DLAA on this nighttime scenario, but yeah, it did increase from 7 gigabytes of DLSS performance and daytime. All right, so right now let's stop here. Let's use DLSS performance and see how it runs. And as you can see, I pierced 100 FPS, but again, with this game, you don't really want to use DLSS because it doesn't have ray reconstruction. And if you use DLSS, and especially DLSS performance, it's super enhanced. I mean, it's super obvious in DLSS performance that there's like fuzziness in the reflections and in the like lighting and stuff. It's fuzzy. It becomes some places like on the pavement and on cars, and also the reflections are like pixelated, not just fuzzy but pixelated. So yeah, I wouldn't advise using DLSS performance in this game because it doesn't really look good. It just, if you don't like ray tracing, just turn it off. It's just gonna look horrible because it doesn't have ray reconstruction. Okay, let's stop rambling about ray reconstruction and actually use DLSS quality with frame generation. Let's go back down to DLSS quality and use frame generation. Let me put DLSS quality and frame generation on the OBS overlay and frame generation from here, and as you can see, it's gonna increase FPS. It's gonna look better than the DLSS performance while giving me also more FPS. But again, these FPS are dumb frames. I wouldn't call them fake frames. I would call them dumb frames because they are not interactive. They are frames that you see. There are real frames that you see. They're just not interactive. You cannot interact with those frames because it's just the GPU hallucinating some, you know, frame between the two real frames. And as you can see right now, I would play it like this if I didn't have the 4090, but because I want to replay the game, I'm gonna replay it with the 4090 instead, because in nighttime it drops the performance, you know, way more than it's like. So the 4090 behaves as it should in the daytime. The 5090 behaves way better than in oh, it's just out of memory. What the fuck? I have 32 gigabytes of VRAM. How am I out of memory? All right, so it's a good note to end the video on. I wanted to replay this game. I'm gonna replay it on the 4090 instead. Unless they release a fix for the 5090, which I'm not sure that they're gonna do, because it took them like 50 years to just do ray tracing. So yeah, if you like the video, press like. If you dislike it, press dislike. Let's talk in the comments. What do you think about the NVE? What do you think about the mod? Is it worth it? Is it actually looking like GTA 6, or it's just something that it's not gonna look even close to GTA 6 when it launches? So yeah, let's talk in the comments. Leave me a comment and subscribe to see this channel grow and see more, you know, reaches more people. And see you in the next video, which I'm gonna be doing tomorrow, a side-by-side kind of thing between the 5090 and the 4090. And yeah, see you in the next video. Ciao.